All right. So we are now moving on to talk about loops. And I have provided you with multiple things this week. We have a PowerPoint presentation, which you should start your class off with to talk about loops. I would pass out this student worksheet. You can either give these worksheets, by the way, through Google Classroom if you are using a online source for this, or you can print this out for your students to jot down ideas. I like providing it to them through Google Classroom, but that's just me. You're going to talk about loops. And again, in the PowerPoint presentation, we understand that we are creating a loop to repeat a certain code multiple times or until a condition is met. The video does a great description of that, but to really make this very, very easy to understand what a loop is, think about this concept of a mailman. A mailman has a code to go to a house, to open up the mailbox, and to insert the mail. And he does this multiple times. He's looping that same code every time. I drive up to the next house, open up mailbox, insert mail, close mailbox, repeat. That's a loop. Okay? If your students understand, well, that's one piece of code that I can use multiple times for a certain purpose, they understand what loops are. It's repeating the code over and over again. I know it's very simple to understand for maybe you, but we want our students to be able to use that language when they're talking about coding, which is very important for us. I give you some rules of loops. Loops may be continued for a set number of times or until a condition is met. So I can create a loop and say repeat 5 times, or I can say repeat until you hit a wall. You were told no, or whatever the condition may be. And if the condition is met, the looping is done in the code. The challenge is for your students in Minecraft to create a square that is 3 by 3. So your students are going to make an actual code using their coding agent to create a square that is 3 by 3. So I will instruct you through this. Again, you don't want to show this part to your students, but this is for you as a teacher. They're going to open up Minecraft. So I'm going to search for Minecraft and open that up. Again, your kids sign in using their Gmail or Office 365 account. They will open this up, type in their email, and sign in. Again, you want to have them create a new world. I always like to use the blocks of grass because it's just basically simple. And I'm going to make sure that it's creative and it's peaceful. We also need to open up code connection for the game. So I'm going to hit T on my keyboard, \code, and it's going to open up code connection for me. I'm going to select make code. And we should be good to go. Now, I have to create a couple algorithms. The whole point is to use my coding agent. And so I need to actually make my agent teleport to me. And so I'm going to grab an on-chat command, and I'm going to title this one TP for teleport. I'm going to grab an agent block, and I'm going to grab the one that says agent teleport to player. So my agent will teleport to me. The other algorithm that I need to create is one that is going to allow my agent to make a square that is 3 by 3. And we want our students to understand loops. But the first part of the step is for your students to create a box or an algorithm that allows the agent to make a square box that is 3 by 3. And so there's a couple things that they need to have here. They need to create another on command block. I'm going to title this one square. And my agent needs to move, but when my agent moves, they need to place an object down. And so my agent immediately is going to place on move, and we're going to change this variable to true. Then I'm going to grab agent move forward by how many blocks. and I'm going to grab that one. So I know my agent needs to move 3 blocks forward. So I'm going to type in 3. And then I'm going to have my agent take a left turn. And then I'm going to have my agent move forward by 3 blocks again. Take another left. Move forward again by 3 blocks. Take another left. And then move forward by 3 blocks. And so now I've just created a very long code for my agent to make a square box. I'm going to go back to the game, and this is the part where your students may not understand, is that they need to give their agent squares. So they're going to right-click on the agent, and they're going to give him whatever material they want. I'm going to give him stone. They just click and drag it. I'm going to give the whole thing. Click on it and then drag it. Let it go there. So now Roy U agent has it. All I did was I clicked it once and dragged it there and clicked again. So my agent is here. He teleported to me. Again, he's going to teleport. If he wasn't on my screen, he is now. And then I'm going to type in the code square. And now my agent should be placing the blocks. Okay. So he kind of did it, right? There's something else here that I'm not talking about, and your agent destroys a block, but don't worry about that yet. But he kind of did the square. And what your students are going to realize is that code was actually really long. Is there a way to simplify this code? And there is. It's called loops, and that's where that whole point of the lesson comes into. So if I go back to my code and I take out all this extra stuff, I'm going to leave the agent place on move there because that needs to stay there. But I don't need these other blocks. In fact, I can take these out and delete it. But if I go down to loops, I can look for one that says repeat how many times and do this. So if I place that one here, and I place these 2 blocks here, now I'm going to repeat the same code 4 times. There's my simple loop, right? And so when I go back to my actual game, and I'm going to move my agent, so I'm going to teleport him to another place. I'm going to make sure I'm out of his way. Let's see what happens here. Look at that. Again, same thing was created, but I used less code. Then your students start to realize, wow, this is what loops are used for. Don't worry why this particular block is not being created. I'm going to solve that when we talk about conditionals, but right now we're not going to worry about it. When your students actually get to this part easily, there's a couple tutorials that they can work on in Tutorial World that will show them what extra extended practice they could use. I give this to you in your teacher instruction. The 2 that your students can go through are going to be flower trail. And so your students will actually use the tutorial flower trail, and they'll go through this lesson to actually learn what loops are good for in this particular tutorial. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, I'm here to help you as much as I can. Talk to you later. Good luck to you. Bye-bye.